Hello from Mindset Daily, wishing you a day full of health, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching the Mindset Daily channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you so much.
What if I told you that 1 extra hour a day could completely change your life? What if that small shift in your daily routine held the power to reshape your future? And what if the difference between failure and success boiled down to how you spend just 60 minutes each day? Let me ask you this. What could you truly accomplish with 1 additional hour every single day? Many people might brush it off and say, not much. But that couldn't be further from the truth. 1 hour a day equals 7 hours a week. That's 365 hours a year, equivalent to more than 9 full 40-hour work weeks. Now imagine what could happen if you invested that time intentionally. Early in my journey, I learned something that stuck with me. Success is not about massive changes or lucky breaks. It's about simple disciplines practiced daily. Likewise, failure isn't sudden. It's a few bad decisions repeated day after day. The secret is in the accumulation. You can't alter your destination overnight, but you can change your direction in a moment. So, what if you took just 60 minutes out of your 24 each day and committed it to real transformation? Where could that lead you? Here's something I've always believed. If you want success, study success. If you want happiness, study happiness. If you want wealth, study wealth. The key isn't to hope for fewer problems. It's to develop stronger skills. Don't wish life were easier. Wish you were better. Let me tell you about a conversation that changed everything for me. When I was a young man, I met my mentor, Mr. Schaefer. He looked me in the eye and asked, "Jim, how much money have you saved?" I replied, "None." He smiled and said, "Who sold you on that plan?" That simple question hit me hard. It made me realize that what happens in life isn't what determines our future. It's how we respond. We all live through the same seasons, have similar time in a day, and face our own challenges. But the outcomes differ because of what we choose to do with those hours and opportunities. Now, let's talk specifically about that hour, those precious 60 minutes. What if you dedicated just 1 hour every single day to your own personal development? Not checking emails, not watching Netflix, not mindlessly scrolling social media, but time invested fully in becoming a better version of yourself. How could your life evolve? Let me offer a powerful idea. Start with reading. The average American reads less than 1 book per year, while the average CEO reads 4 to 5 books a month. Is that just coincidence? I don't think so. Reading strengthens the mind like exercise strengthens the body. With only 60 minutes a day, you could easily read about 30 pages. That adds up to a book every week or 2. That's a bookshelf full of new knowledge, new perspectives, and new opportunities, all unlocked by a simple daily habit. Imagine this, reading 30 to 50 books a year. That's not just a number. It's a gateway to extraordinary wisdom, powerful insights, and practical strategies that could completely reshape your thinking. But don't just flip through pages. Let each book sink in. Let it challenge your perspective, stir your curiosity, and sharpen your decision-making. Take notes, underline key phrases. Ask yourself real questions like, how can I apply this today? You don't need to devour an entire library. Just choose a handful of transformational books and let them shape your path forward. Next, consider this. How often do people spend days planning their vacations, yet barely give their life goals a passing thought? It's no surprise they end up drifting instead of arriving. Use a portion of that 1 hour window each day to map out your goals. Think about your week, your month, even your year. Reflection is a powerful discipline, one that changed my life. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I get right? What could I improve? What lesson did the day offer? This kind of honest review is like a compass. It helps you course correct before you go too far off track. And then there's skill building. In today's fast-paced world, your ability to grow, adapt, and reinvent yourself might be the most important skill of all. Ask yourself, what one skill, if mastered, would dramatically improve my life? Whether in career, relationships, or health. Dedicating just 1 focused hour each day can turn you into an expert in far less time than you'd expect. Remember, the marketplace doesn't pay you for your time. It rewards you for the value you bring. So instead of asking, how much do I earn per hour? Ask, how valuable have I made myself per hour? What's fascinating is this. Most people won't make this investment. They'll say they're too busy. But the truth is, we don't find time for important things. We make time. Everyone has the same 24 hours. What separates the successful from the stagnant is how we choose to use those hours. Let me share a simple yet powerful story. Two woodcutters were given axes and asked to cut down as many trees as they could in one day. The first swung nonstop, barely pausing. The second took several breaks. Yet by day's end, the second woodcutter had chopped significantly more trees. The first one was stunned. "How did you do it with all those breaks?" he asked. The second replied, "I wasn't resting, I was sharpening my axe." That daily hour? That's your sharpening time. It's what makes the rest of your efforts more efficient, more precise, and more impactful. And when someone says, "But Jim, I'm just too busy. Where can I possibly find another hour in my day?" My answer is simple and direct. You don't find it. You create it. Maybe it means waking up an hour earlier. Maybe it's turning off the television an hour sooner. Maybe it's replacing idle scrolling with intentional growth. Maybe that hour comes from skipping one television show. Maybe it comes from cutting back on time spent with distractions that no longer serve your highest purpose. The truth is, we all get the same 24 hours each day. But how we spend those hours, that's what separates growth from stagnation. If you take a closer look at your current life, you'll notice something revealing. Your present circumstances are a reflection of your past priorities. That's a hard truth, but a powerful one. If you want different results in the future, you must begin by changing what you prioritize today. I've come to observe that people generally fall into one of three categories. The first group makes things happen. The second watches things happen. And the third, they're left scratching their heads, wondering what just happened. So the question is, where do you stand? Are you a passive observer? Or are you ready to step into that first group and make deliberate, forward-moving choices? When you commit to investing just 1 hour a day in yourself, you are declaring that you're no longer leaving your future to chance. You're choosing to lead, not drift. You're choosing to design your life with intention. And to help you maximize that hour, let me share a simple yet powerful strategy, one called the Rule of 5. Think of it like this. Just as a woodpecker can bring down a massive oak tree with persistent pecking in the same spot, you can achieve extraordinary results by committing to 5 key actions each day that directly move you toward your goals. So ask yourself, what are your 5? Maybe it's reading 10 pages from a great book. Maybe it's making 3 new business calls, doing 20 minutes of exercise, writing in a personal journal, and reviewing your goals. Your 5 could be different. The specifics don't matter as much as the consistency. Do them every day. That's where the real magic happens. Not in a single burst of effort, but in the quiet power of daily discipline. Another priceless way to use your hour? Thinking. I mean deep, structured, intentional thinking. Most people confuse thinking with mental noise. They recycle old ideas, react to external events, or dwell on problems. But true thinking, where you challenge your assumptions, explore alternatives, and clarify your direction, is rare. And that kind of mental work is pure gold. Try asking yourself transformative questions. What's truly working in my life right now? What's not? What am I pretending not to notice? Are there opportunities I'm ignoring because they seem uncomfortable? What single decision today could dramatically shift my future for the better? These kinds of questions act like magnets. They pull out insights that were hiding just beneath the surface. The truth is, the quality of your life often mirrors the quality of the questions you dare to ask yourself. And then there's visualization. Another potent way to spend that hour. Close your eyes and picture your goals as if they've already happened. Feel it, see it, live it, if only in your imagination for now. This isn't just daydreaming. It's mentally rehearsing success, training your subconscious to believe in what's possible and preparing your mind to act accordingly. Now, let's be clear. This isn't just about feel-good optimism or vague positive thinking. This is strategic. When you vividly imagine your future success, when you allow yourself to feel it as if it's already real, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. It interprets your vision as instruction, not fiction. And from that moment forward, it begins searching for ways, small and large, to turn your vision into reality. I've always believed that your goals should be so powerful they light a fire inside you. They should inspire you, excite you, and maybe even scare you just a little. Why? because goals that stretch you also grow you. So use part of your daily hour to reconnect with that vision. Don't let it fade. Let yourself feel again what it means to chase something that truly matters. You see, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. The daily effort of dedicating just 1 hour to your personal growth may seem small, almost too small to matter. But the real pain, that comes years down the road, when you look back and realize how much more was possible, if only you'd use your time differently. Let's talk about the compound effect of this daily hour. Just like money multiplies through compound interest, your personal growth does the same. In the short term, you might not notice much. After a week, you may feel only a slight shift. But after a year, after 5 years, the difference is astounding. The person you become won't even resemble who you were before. Each new insight stacks upon the one before. Each skill you develop makes the next skill easier to learn. Each small win boosts your confidence, and that growing confidence makes bigger wins possible. I learned something from my mentor that has stayed with me to this day. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. And how do you become that person? It starts with how you spend your time. Now, some of you may be thinking, this sounds great, Jim, but I've tried this before. I've tried sticking to routines, and I always fall off. I hear you, and I want to tell you something important. The gap between goals and achievements is called discipline. That bridge isn't easy to build. If it were, everyone would have already built theirs. But the very fact that it's challenging is what gives it value. So how do you build it? 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time. You don't need to be great when you start, but you do need to start if you ever want to be great. Let me give you a method that has helped thousands of people I've mentored. It's called Don't Break the Chain. Here's how it works. Get a calendar, physical or digital, and each day you complete your 1 hour commitment, mark it with a big X. After a few days, you'll start to see a chain forming. That chain is your proof. It's your momentum. And your only job? Don't break it. There's something incredibly motivating about seeing that visual reminder of your consistency. You won't want to miss a day, not because someone is watching, but because you've made a promise to yourself. Another effective strategy to help you stay consistent is accountability. Don't just keep your goals to yourself, share them. Tell someone you trust what you're planning to commit to. Even better, find an accountability partner who's willing to take on the same daily challenge. Check in with each other regularly, even if it's just a quick message each evening. Celebrate your small victories together. Why does this matter so much? Because the people you associate with shape who you become. There's a powerful truth. You become like the people you spend the most time with. So if you're serious about transforming your life, it might be time to rethink your circle. Seek out those who are already living the way you aspire to live. People who've built the habits, mindset, and momentum that you want for yourself. When you're around people who are driven, focused, and growth-minded, it becomes much easier to stay on your own path. People often ask me, what's the best time to start this journey? My answer is simple. The best time was 20 years ago. But the second best time? That's today, right now, this moment. You see, just like planting a tree, the longer you wait, the longer you delay the rewards. But it's never too late to begin. There's a concept in economics called opportunity cost. It refers to the value of what you miss out on when you choose one path over another. And when it comes to this daily hour of transformation, the opportunity cost of neglecting it is massive. It's the better career you didn't build, the financial security you never reached, the relationships you didn't deepen, the impact you never made. Don't let those possibilities slip through your fingers. Make a different decision. Choose to invest in yourself. Intentionally, consistently. Choose growth over comfort and discipline over regret. That's the path that leads to a life of fulfillment and contribution. Now let me introduce another concept that has deeply shaped the way I think. The power of seasons. Life unfolds in seasons, and each one has its own purpose. There's a time to plant, a time to nurture, and a time to harvest. But here's the thing. You can't harvest what you haven't planted. You can't reap what you haven't cared for. That's what your daily hour is for. It's the time to plant seeds of knowledge, of new habits, of personal development. But like any garden, growth takes time. And this is where most people lose heart. They get excited on Monday, but by Wednesday, they're already digging up the soil to check for results. And when they don't see instant progress, they quit. Don't be that person. Give your seeds time to root, to develop beneath the surface before they bloom. Let's also talk about when to schedule this hour. There's real wisdom in making it the first hour of your day. Why? Because willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired as the day goes on. If you leave your personal growth until the end of the day, chances are you'll skip it. But when you dedicate the very first hour of your morning to growth, you're giving it your best energy, your clearest mind, and your highest focus. Even more, it sets the tone for your day. Starting with intentional, purpose-driven action creates momentum that touches everything else you do. It creates a ripple effect of clarity, focus, and confidence that lasts all day. But let's be clear, this hour isn't about just staying busy. It's not about checking off tasks. It's about being productive. There's a massive difference between the two. Being busy is just activity. Being productive is progress. Productivity means doing the right things, the ones that truly move your life forward. So use this time wisely. Design your hour with clarity and intention. Reflect regularly. If after 30 days, you're not seeing progress, don't give up, just shift your strategy. Review, adjust, and refine your approach. As I've often said, it's not what happens that shapes your future. It's what you do about what happens. Formal education might equip you to earn a living, but it's self-education that empowers you to build a fortune. That's what this daily hour represents. Your personal commitment to growth, to learning, to evolving into a better version of yourself. Not just so you can do more or have more, but so you can be more. This journey isn't only about success in the material sense. It's about stepping into the fullness of your potential and embracing the life you were truly meant to live. It's about discovering the impact you were born to make and fulfilling that purpose with intention. Just pause and imagine. If you devoted 1 hour a day consistently, without fail, where would you be a year from now? Or 5 years? Or 10? The possibilities stretch farther than most people allow themselves to believe. The truth is, the difference between those who achieve extraordinary results and those who don't isn't luck, talent, or privilege. It's preparation. It's consistency. It's what happens in the hours no one else sees. You've probably heard the popular idea that it takes about 10,000 hours to master a skill. And yes, at 1 hour a day, that's about 27 years. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait decades to start reaping the benefits. Just 100 hours, a little over 3 months of dedicated daily effort, can shift your abilities, your mindset, and your results in profound ways. That's the kind of leverage one intentional hour can give you. So here's a powerful question. What area of your life, if significantly improved, would create a ripple effect across everything else? Is it your health, your relationships, your mindset, your finances? That's where your focus should begin. Your first hour should go to the area with the highest return on transformation. Let me share a timeless principle with you, the slight edge. This concept is simple, yet holds incredible power. Tiny, seemingly insignificant actions, when done consistently over time, create enormous change. It's not about one grand gesture. It's the daily habits that build momentum. Take reading as an example. If you commit to reading just 10 pages a day, that adds up to 12 to 15 books a year. Over a decade, that's more than 100 books. Imagine how your thinking would evolve, how much wisdom you'd accumulate, how many new perspectives would shape your decisions. Or think about this. Saving just $5 a day, invested wisely, could grow into over $100,000 in 30 years. That's the power of consistency. That's the compound effect in action. This is the real magic of your daily hour. It's not about dramatic overnight transformations. It's about small, intentional improvements that stack up and multiply over time. When you embrace this mindset, growth becomes inevitable. Over the years, I've had the privilege of meeting thousands of people, and I've noticed a consistent pattern. The ones who reach lasting success aren't always the most naturally gifted or the smartest in the room, but they're the most consistent. They show up every day doing the things others avoid. They put in the work even when motivation fades, even when no one's watching. That's the difference maker. Because motivation might be what gets you started, but habit, discipline, and routine are what keep you going. And that's exactly why this 1 hour practice daily is so powerful. It becomes the foundation of everything you want to become. Over time, This daily hour evolves into something deeper than just a routine. It becomes a habit, yes, but more importantly, it becomes part of your identity. It shapes who you are, not just what you do. But let's be honest. What happens when you slip up? What if you miss a day? I hear that question a lot, and my response is simple. Get back on track immediately. Missing one day is a moment. Missing 2 in a row? That's the beginning of a new habit, one that pulls you away from your goals. So don't let a small stumble turn into a slide. We're not aiming for perfection here. We're aiming for progress. If you dedicate just 5 days out of 7 to your daily hour, you're still light years ahead of where you would have been had you done nothing. So yes, be kind to yourself when you fall short, but at the same time, be disciplined about getting back in motion. Progress loves consistency more than perfection. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something crucial: tracking your progress. There's a simple truth I've learned over the years. What gets measured gets improved. Keep a journal. Write down how you spend your hour each day, what you focused on, what insights you gained, what challenges you faced. Review this log periodically. It will reveal patterns, growth, blind spots, and areas that need attention. In fact, I encourage something I call the quarterly review. Every 3 months, take a step back. Reflect on the direction you're heading. Is your daily hour truly moving you toward your goals? What's working? What's not? What did you do differently? This kind of self-evaluation isn't just about staying on track. It's about making sure the track itself is leading to where you want to go. Because being busy doesn't always mean being effective. Now here's something that often goes unspoken. It takes real courage to invest in yourself this way. Choosing to spend time, day after day, developing your potential. It means believing in your worth. It means saying to yourself, I can grow. I will change. I am capable of becoming more. And let me say this clearly, you absolutely can. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. People who started with nothing but a desire to improve, who stayed committed, and went on to build remarkable, fulfilled lives. If they could do it, so can you. Let's now talk about focus. What are the areas where this daily hour can bring the biggest returns? In my experience, there are 5 that stand out. First, mindset. Your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes form the foundation for everything else. Read books that challenge your assumptions. Listen to ideas that stretch your thinking. Journal about your fears, your limiting beliefs, and the perspective shifts you want to make. Second, skills. What abilities, if mastered, would elevate your life? Communication, leadership, sales, financial literacy, technical expertise. Identify the ones that matter most to your path and use your hour to sharpen them, one day at a time. Third, relationships. Success is never a solo journey. Use your hour to nurture your closest relationships, expand your network, learn from mentors, or simply be of service to others. The people you surround yourself with can either accelerate your growth or hold you back. Fourth, health. Because without your health, none of the other goals truly matter. Learn about nutrition, study movement, exercise, rest, and stress management. Then take action. A strong body fuels a sharp mind. And finally, contribution. At the end of the day, fulfillment comes not from what we accumulate, but from what we give. Ask yourself, how can I add more value today? How can I make a difference in someone's life? Whether through your work, your time, or your energy, giving multiplies everything it touches. You can rotate your focus across these 5 areas, or zero in on the one that needs your attention most right now. Either way, dedicating your hour with purpose to these pillars will lead to transformation that reaches far beyond what you imagined. Consistent investment in yourself, day after day, yields returns that can be truly extraordinary. One of the most powerful questions you can ever ask yourself is this: who do I need to become in order to achieve what I want? Notice that it's not just what do I need to do, but who do I need to become? Because actions naturally flow from identity. When you shift who you are, what you do begins to shift with it. And that's the essence of your daily hour. It's not just about doing more, it's about becoming more. I often share the story of 2 men who were both given the same task, to build a house. The first man jumped in head first. He started pouring the foundation right away, eager to make progress. The second man took a different route. He spent the first week sharpening his tools, reviewing blueprints, and preparing intentionally. At the end of the first month, the first man appeared to be ahead. His walls were already rising. But by the end of the year, the second man had built a stronger, more beautiful, and far more efficient home, with fewer mistakes and far less wasted effort. That's exactly what your hour does. It sharpens your tools. It studies your blueprint. It may feel slow at first, almost like a detour, but in truth, it accelerates everything else that follows. Preparation doesn't delay success, it fast-tracks it. But let's not pretend this journey is without resistance. You'll face it. As Stephen Pressfield describes in The War of Art, resistance is that invisible, internal force that rises up to stop us whenever we try to grow, to stretch, to evolve. You'll hear that little voice saying, just skip today, you'll make it up tomorrow. Or, is this hour really making a difference? You'll find yourself rationalizing, delaying, doubting. This resistance is part of the process. Everyone who's ever grown has had to wrestle with it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't, the successful push through it. They show up anyway. They remind themselves that the weight of discipline is light, but the weight of regret, that lasts a lifetime. Now let's talk about something truly profound, the ripple effect. This hour you're investing, it doesn't just stay confined to the page of a book or the 60 minutes of your planner. It spreads. It touches everything. When you invest in learning, you don't just gain information, you gain confidence. When you refine your skills, you become more capable, more resourceful, and more valuable. Not just to others, but to yourself. When you invest in your health, you don't just feel better physically. You show up better emotionally and mentally for everyone around you. It's all connected. Everything you do to elevate one part of your life ends up lifting the whole. That's the quiet power of this daily discipline. It builds momentum in ways you can't always see at first. Now, I often get asked this question, Jim, if I spend an hour each day focusing so much on myself, will my life become unbalanced? And here's what I tell them. Balance doesn't mean giving equal time to every area of life. It means giving appropriate time to what matters most in a particular season. There will be times when your career demands more from you. Other times, your family needs your full presence. And sometimes, your inner growth must take center stage. Balance isn't about perfect symmetry. It's about intentional prioritization. What some call imbalance is often just strategic concentration. And that's exactly what your daily hour represents. It's not stealing time from the rest of your life. It's fueling it. It's a deliberate investment in becoming the kind of person who can thrive across every area of life. True balance doesn't come from spreading yourself thin. It comes from developing the strength, clarity, and capacity to show up fully wherever you are. Let me introduce you to another powerful concept, identity. The deepest and most permanent changes don't happen when we force ourselves to behave differently. They happen when new behaviors become part of who we are. At first, this daily hour will require willpower and conscious effort. But over time, it shifts from being something you do into someone you are. You're no longer just someone trying to read. You become a reader. You're not just attempting to eat healthy. You see yourself as someone who honors and protects their body. When habits are integrated into your identity, they stop feeling like burdens and start feeling like expressions of who you are. That shift is where transformation truly begins, and your daily hour accelerates it. I've said it many times, success leaves clues. If you want to succeed, study those who already have. Observe their thinking, their routines, the books they read, how they use their time. What rituals have they built into their day? What mental models guide their decisions? Your daily hour can, and should, include this kind of learning. It's not just about absorbing abstract ideas, but about immersing yourself in the lives of people who live out those principles. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's created through intentional habits and mindsets, ones you can absolutely adopt. Now, let's address something that holds many people back. You might be thinking, I'm too old to start something new like this. Or, it's too late for me. But let me tell you, it is never too late to begin. I have a friend who took up the piano at 65. By the time he turned 70, he was performing in formal concerts for friends. Another acquaintance decided to go back to college at 50. By 56, she was a practicing psychologist. The best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. The second best time? Today. And the same goes for your hour of transformation. Others might say, I've tried personal development before, and it didn't work. My honest question to you is, did you give it enough time? Most people drastically overestimate what they can achieve in a year, but wildly underestimate what they can accomplish in 5. Growth isn't a microwave. It's a slow cooker, a crockpot of quiet, daily discipline. The results don't show up all at once, but when they do, they're life-changing.